So I have to restart Logic real quick so it can rescan the libraries. So just one moment. 210. That sounds wrong. Oh, there we go. Empty MIDI instrument. So let's see. Setting. Let's put a limiter on the master just to protect your ears. And now we're going to check out what this thing is, what this does. Plug data. Let's check out plug data. So plug data seems to be something like some kind of max MSP. Where is it? Max MSP type a visual programming environment for audio experimentation, prototyping, and education. It's open source. It's free. It has plugins for almost any DAW, cross-platform, community-made, etc., etc. And looks a little bit like Max MSP. The reason that I wanted to check this out was this plugin, Helica, which seems to be some sort of, I don't know what exactly you can describe it. What it does some particle gravity type stuff. So what happens if I just make a new patch and get a piano? So if I play, nothing is probably happening. Oscillator sequences, I probably need something like MIDI in. Okay, I have MIDI in. Where is the in? How would I make this work? Sequences, instruments, filters, ring mod, piano. Can I? No, I cannot make it bigger. Can I somehow add object, okay. Piano keyboard. So this is my MIDI in, and I want an, oh, this is just an UI. Okay, let's get rid of that. Cut. UI general MIDI in. Oh yes, now we're cooking. Raw MIDI in byte by byte. MIDI channel port. Let's do that. Okay, it does something. That's good. Oh fuck. Now we need to connect this to an output, probably. I see. Fuck. Okay, this is. So, add object, MIDI IO. Out. So. Volume. Can I change the volume? Plug data. Automation parameters. No. Okay. Dimensions, inspector, volume, DSP, volume, out, properties. No. Okay. Okay, so right now it does nothing. Oh, okay. Delete. So signal out. Okay. Is it because it just doesn't have a proper sound, or? Hey baby boy 1855, how's it hanging? IO. Net receive send OC DAC out. Digital analog conversion or CFX. How are you at Discord? I'm good. How are you? FX multi-math. Let's maybe let's try to get an oscillator going. I'm always clicking on the plus. Out. Out. Can I... What happens if I... Oh! Now we're going somewhere. Okay, delete this. Get the piano here. Get it left, get it right. I have to... Okay. Mute this P out. Okay. So it receives MIDI. MIDI in, note in. Note in. MIDI note number. Let's try this instead. No, didn't do anything. Fuck my ears almost. I put a limiter on that, so it shouldn't fuck your ears that way. Okay, this is something that we can check out later, how this properly works. What we can do now is open patch. I wanted to check out the Helica PD. Let's see what this does. Oh god. Helica, okay. Can I go into the plugin view? Oh, the performance is... Oh. So it does not see... Load the wave. Okay. Let's load the wave. I think there were like... presets? File? Oh, patches. Let's see if there are patches. No? Okay. What is this plugin? Oh, Logic just crashed. Beautiful. It is apparently a particle simulator, whatever, which crashes Logic. So we're going to see if we can make that even work properly. Oh. Logic so goated. I doubt that this is an issue with Logic, but rather with this thing here. Because this seems to be very janky. Spectral Composer by Nasco. Oh, it loaded. Okay. F major, okay. Load the wave to get started. Oh god. Okay, I click the load symbol. Jesus Christ. Okay, the performance is absolutely horrendous. Those are $8. No, $14 down my drain. I can do a refund though, because I cannot really use it. Okay, let's get to feedbacks. First we have Baby Boy, and after that we're going to have a call-in with YGen. So let's listen to that one first.
You promise things you don't mean. I believe it too easily. Feeling nervous and incomplete the moment you're not with me. Stop talking like that, 'cause I love it like that. I lose my brain, I hear your voice. Losing myself seems like an easier choice. Stop talking like that, 'cause I love it like that. Stop talking like that, I love it like that. Stop talking like that.
Oh, that was short.
It's an incomplete the moment you're
Spectral Compressor by Nesco. Let's check out Spectral Compressor by Spectral Compressor Nesco. Oh, this is also for this plug data thing. Okay. Yeah, but plug data seems to be running really terribly, seemingly. Okay. Your track.
not with me. Stop talking like that.
The vocals seem to be a little bit boxy, in my opinion.
'Cause I love it like that. I lose my brain, I hear your voice. Losing myself seems like an easier choice. You're not with me.
You know what I mean? There's some sort of resonance in the middle frequencies, which make it sound a little bit boxy.
Stop talking like that. You don't mean.
Like everything else in your instrumental, for example, is super clean, has very nice high end and low end.
I believe it too. 'Cause I love it like that.
Okay, got a compressor. I don't know if compression is a problem, but rather EQing.
I lose my brain, I hear your voice. Losing myself seems like an easier choice.
And next thing would be timing on the vocals in the let's call it the breakdown part.
Losing myself seems like an easier choice. Stop talking like that, 'cause I love it like that.
They are a little bit, just a tiny little bit ahead.
Stop talking like that.
Do you notice that? Like they seem to be rushing away from the rest of the instrumental.
'Cause I love it like that. Stop talking like.
So put them just a tiny little bit more in your timeline to the right.
I love it like that. Stop talking like.
Yeah, and of course extend it. Like that's really important to extend it. So next up we have Yogen with a call in. So let's pull them in. Hello.
Hello.
How is it
How you
going?
doing?
Oh, it's you again. Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see. Very nice.
Had to come time, you know, to the stream.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. How's the sorry, baby boy? How's the idea? I like the idea. That's why I told you to extend it. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do this the same way that we did the last time. Wait, let me stream the Firefox window. Where is it? Application, so that you can hear your track. Also share application audio. Beautiful. Quick check. Do you hear that? Or did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Excellent. So I'm going to mute my microphone and then we're going to give this one a listen. Let's go. Okay. So, let's take it a little bit apart, what you got here for us. One thing that threw me off in the beginning was the one of the first vocal samples which came in. Where is it? Yes, this one. The second note of this vocal sample seems to be off key.
Off key?
Yes.
Yeah. That is something someone, what do you call it? Explained it to me before. But I guess like with cultural context of my music, I guess I'd say it's definitely something that people can bring up, but with the cultural context of like my music, it's not really like we don't really worry about keys, mostly like trying to create a soundscape with rhythm. But I guess yeah, bringing that up that it takes you out of that groove is important as well. So I guess I got that advice, but I just didn't really seem to take much notice of it because it's just like I don't know, like I just like the way how it sounds. If it sounds off, then that's just how it sounds, you know. But I guess like if you listen to a lot of cultural African music, like a lot of them they don't sing on key. A lot of basses, guitars, all of them are off key, and they're just really focused on the groove. So
yes, in that context, I would agree with you. In the sense that it's that this type of music or different type of cultures maybe have a focus on different aspects on music or on different musical elements, like you said, for example, rhythm, or maybe even on the coloration of a note instead of what type of melody or what type of scale you're in. However, with the rest of your instrumental, you're basically setting a harmonic and melodic context.
okay.
So you have those two, let's say, very different words going on at the same time. So you either have to, in my opinion, adapt those elements which seem to be a little bit atonal or non-tonal or in the wrong key to fit more to what you did in the instrumental, or you have to do it the other way around. Else you have those two very clashing concepts. And if you have two very clashing concepts, you have to go a very long way to convince a listener that this is really on purpose, that this is not that this is not wrong that you are doing, but you have to prepare the listener for that to work properly.
Okay.
It works in certain situations. Like sometimes you can do, for example, bitonal music and be like, okay, I have two different keys playing at the same time. But in most cases, if it isn't well prepared, most people will listen to it and be like, yeah, what the fuck is this? This sounds really terrible.
Yeah.
Just as an example, like there are some musical concepts which are really hard to bring over.
I guess yeah, since it's at the start, it's like you said, prepping up for it would allow it to actually kind of gel more. But because it starts off, then it's like, oh, you're already irritated in some manner.
It is already in the very beginning where this is happening. Yes, exactly. And maybe you could also make it into some kind of development in the sense that the first instances where the sample, for example, appears can be in tune. And it's mostly the second the second note of the two notes which seems to be out of key, and maybe later on you can start to change the second one up into a more dissonant one. That could work as a concept. that could be more convincing, where you go, okay, here I presented this thing to you, and now I start to change it up, and so the listener will realize, oh, that's what he's doing. So he knows
I
how
see.
to do it right, and then he
Yeah, yeah,
purposely
yeah, yeah,
does
yeah.
it wrong in
Okay.
parentheses.
It's a lot more intentional that way.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I see. Okay.
That would be a way to convey that. Yes. Generally speaking, I agree with you in regards to those more rhythmic elements and those more rhythmic qualities. Like, for example, those chants right here, they are not really tonal, but it doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't seem dissonant
Yeah.
or wrong or anything like that, because it is definitely known that those elements are rhythmic and percussive.
It's just there to match the. It's just there to match with the melodies that's going on there. It's not necessarily like. I guess like when I look for samples, like vocal samples, I'm looking for them for a specific reason, not because they sound nice. That they'll just sound on top. Like, I guess I've already made the melody in this case. I've already made the melody. I kind of know the pattern. So now when I'm just looking for vocal samples, especially African ones, if you don't know what they're saying, then it's kind of harder to try and place it in a way that's like, oh, like I just love what they're saying. Like, it just sounds so cool. No, it's just about the melodic elements, how rhythmic they're saying, like the syllables, everything that's going on in there. My EP is called Afro Alien because it's like, number one, I'm alien. It's alien in the fact that it's like I don't know what they're saying, but I'm African. So I don't know what they're saying. I am African. I'm from there, but at the same time, I don't know what the flip is going on. I feel alienated from wherever it is. I just know how this works. I just know how they like to portray their like vocals or how I would translate it here. As opposed to trying to fit it into how they do it. I'm trying to piece together things in a way that I understand, if that makes sense.
Of course, it makes sense. So, like, vocals don't always have to be lyrical or have a lyrical meaning behind them. They can be just pure, let's say, noises that mouths make. And one, I would say, very popular example would be scat singing in jazz. Like, they go ski with this is nonsense. It doesn't really make sense. It's way more important that or it's more like when you learn scat singing, it's your vocal teacher is probably going to tell you, okay, what scat singing is supposed to do is you're trying to imitate actual instruments like a trumpet or a saxophone with those mouth noises. So you're not trying to communicate the proper language, but you're trying to more imitate something else. This could be one purpose of not using proper lyrics. And again, the part where you use those charts, it's obviously clear that this isn't supposed to be like commenting a proper message to it, but just has this rhythmic quality to it. Like this works.
It sounds
really
like
fine.
another instrument.
Yeah, it's completely fine. That works for me. I just wanted to give you an example of. In comparison to this female vocal sample, why this one works and why this one doesn't in your track. One interesting question that I have for you, because you mentioned something about melody. What is the melody in your track? Or what would you define as a melody?
What would I define as a melody?
Yes.
Well,
I mean,
I'd say like a recurring line of like notes that's going on. I'd say with this track, it's kind of harder to decipher what the main melody is. I'd say if you have more context of the genres I'm going for, it might make more sense with the melodies I'm going for. So it's like, I don't know if you've heard of I'm a Piano by any chance. I'm a Piano, it's like an African housey music.
No,
It's
not
almost
really.
like it's almost like I guess think of progressive rock where it's like the sound is always building or like psychedelic. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
no, even better. Psychedelic music.
Yeah.
So psychedelic music with a progressive element to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I guess if you were to listen to this track over and over, you'd see there's a recurring melody that's going on through the start and it's just like underneath everything, and I'm just trying to build more melodies on top of more melodies on top of more melodies.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's harder to really decipher the melody. I'm just really trying to create a groove where it's like, oh, you're just lost in it. I'd say like this music right here, this is like music for like when someone is high, like it's just completely mind fucked. I'll be very honest, like I made this like while I was like just smoking up, trying to like get sounds together and everything. But as a whole, as a package, I'd say the first melody was very house inspired. So it's literally like I don't know if you play like the very start.
Which instrument would it be? Would it be the
It
the
would be
chords in the beginning?
the
Yeah.
chords. But I have more. So
Let me.
these are the chords, right? And then the melody will be like, yeah, so that plays the whole track.
And here's one thing that the second chord that you use seems to be. We would go into the discussion of something being not in the right key with the second chord again, but that in the context of that music, this doesn't completely bother me.
Yeah.
We could discuss that, but it isn't all too important. Like it's to me in this situation, it seems like more of a little twist that you did to the second chord. Or rather, it seems to be like you're only using. No, that's wrong. You're not only using minor chords. That's not correct.
So this would be the melody.
Yeah.
This is the melody actually. That's the melody, but those are the chords that played at the start. And that melody plays throughout the whole track.
Yeah.
The whole track. But I guess you can get lost in the sound. And that's my goal for you. To just kind of get lost in a journey of whatever is playing and then kind of it to come back whenever, because at the end I also just like let it play out again.
Yeah,
Um
but it does. Here's the thing: it doesn't seem that way,
Okay.
and
Oh.
in the sense that it doesn't seem to get too repetitive, despite you basically using the same pattern over and over and over again. Like you do a lot to make this whole thing develop without it starting to get boring, and that's a good thing.
Okay. I'd
One
say it's oh no, sorry, continue.
Oh, no problem. One thing that I would consider though is alone BWG. Thanks for the follow. One thing that I would consider is you have to be a little bit more careful when using sounds in this low and mid end region too
Yeah.
much. I think
Yeah.
we already talked about it last time when we're talking about chords. And
Yeah.
how to split them or properly split them up so that they don't feel too much in this low end, because I think there's a lot of very nice harmonic and melodic potential in there, in some of your parts and in some of the melodies that you added in the later part of the song, but because everything is somehow happening down there in this low frequency region, it gets too muddied. You cannot really follow what is happening.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can't really perceive the flow, and I find it a little bit sad because I would love to hear what exactly those different instruments sometimes are playing and figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, that's what is happening. Okay, so
Yeah. I'd say like in the way I developed this track, it was very hard for me to, because you'd see like a lot of people who I've played it for, they'll be like, Right, so where's the bass? Where's the bass? Like when is the bass coming? Or like where's like and I guess if people not many people know what I'm a piano is, but I'm a piano what it likes to do is like it likes to create it's like a journey. You're going through a journey of music. The bass isn't gonna come immediately. You have to wait for it. Like you have to earn it. And I'd say for me making this track, you know, I have the melody and I have my chords at the start. And it's always me just trying to build, trying to build, trying to build. And you know, I have the first vocal parts and I have the second vocal parts. So now it's like when I really wanted to send it home, it was very hard for me because it's like I feel like I've already exhausted all of my ideas. And kind of like my energy even making the track. So it's like, yeah, I get the bass down. I try and, you know, actually bring energy to the track. But I feel like I definitely overcompensated with the bass because there was a lack of bass at the start. And also, yeah, I guess I just wasn't really there yet to. I talked about it last time. I guess I wasn't really there to at the point where I could execute ideas this big at this point because my mixing wasn't there. So I'd say that's where this track specifically shows that. That's like, okay, if I tried making this track now, it would be so much better. But yeah, I feel like because it's like a mix of like 3 or 4 different genres, it's kind of hard to get everything correct. That's why it's so quirky in a way.
Um, well, I'm talking about something that's a little bit more fundamental and which lies basically in physics, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you have so many instruments which play in this low frequency region, you're also getting a lot of additional information due to the fact that a single note that is played, unless it's a sine note, there are multiple frequencies at once. You have your overtones always in there. And that's why things get really muddy in this low frequency region if you aren't careful. And the second thing is a purely physiological thing, which is the deeper the frequency, the harder it is for a person to distinguish those frequencies, actually. Like a half tone up here is way simpler to distinguish than a half tone down here. And the deeper you go, the harder it is to distinguish frequencies from each other. So this is like without any cultural or any context, because this applies to basically every human being with a normal functioning hearing system and how humans normally perceive audio. That's why I'm addressing that whole thing and with the muddiness. And to finalize that, I think this is less an issue of mixing, but more of a pure arrangement issues. Because again, if you stack more and more instruments in that exact frequency regions, you can do all the mixing in the world and you probably wouldn't get rid of the problem. But rather instead going into a different direction and say, okay, I leave this frequency region as clean as possible through the arrangement itself by not having too many instruments play in that frequency region.
Yeah. I guess I would say I think you'd need to listen to the music I'm talking about to kind of and I think I could have mixed this better personally, like I do. Like the kick isn't I didn't really sidechain much stuff in this. Like I know the potential of like how I could actually make this track work. I just wasn't there yet. And you know, like whenever you move on from a track and you try and ruminate over, oh, how can I fix this? Oh, this track is so good. It could be better. You just kind of put yourself in a cycle. And this track and this EP feel like it put me in a cycle for a while. So it's like, I know it could be better. I know how to do it. I just let it go.
Maybe you can, in regards to that, maybe you can try a different approach, which seems to be a lot more helpful. Is it better than what you did half a year ago? Is it better than what you did 1 year ago?
I guess conceptually, this is probably the best. In terms of execution, No, I'd say everything I mix now is way better because
Yes.
I understand like everything you're saying. Like even the advice you gave me last time, because I made these tracks within the same time range.
Mhm.
That's why the same problems are kind of cropping up. I'd say this isn't really a problem I kind of deal with anymore because I know, over time you're gonna know what's actually clashing, what's the problem. You're gonna know how to deal with it. So I don't know. In some ways, yes, this might be the best, and in the other ways, no, this is just horrible.
Yes, that's why I said it really depends on your viewpoint and where you're looking at. I mean, you can compare yourself to, for example, Anna Piano and be like, okay, this is the level that I want to reach. But if you're only looking at the peak and only compare yourself to that, you will always feel a little bit down and be like, oh yeah, well, why would I do it? I probably gonna never reach that level. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is how much you have improved yourself, and how much you've improved yourself individually and compared to yourself. And this can
That's true.
this can be potentially. It really depends from person to person. Some people really strive when they have something to look up to, like something that is really high. And for other people, it's probably better to have a different outlook and compare yourself to yourself instead, and be like, okay, I
Yeah.
did baby steps, but I did steps, like I progressed myself. And this can be a little bit more positive and less demotivating for some people.
Yeah.
So this is,
I guess I learned backwards.
yeah.
I
So
learned backwards because it's like I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna do the craziest shit. I don't care because like I just have passion. Like my willpower is insane. And then it's like you make it, and then you show up for people. It's like, oh no, this problem's here. Oh, this off key. And you're like, oh damn. And then it just puts you down. And then I'll have to like start from foundation again. And it's really stupid. But I guess like that what do you call it, honeymoon era of like making music or starting anything new is so, I don't know, so good, man. So like when you actually get out of it and like you start to do fundamentals again, I feel like I find fun in just fixing the stuff because it's like now I just know I can make a track 10 times better than this.
yes,
Even though it's very fluid in how I learn. It's just how I find myself doing it every time.
yeah, but
So yeah.
that's the process. Like everything is a
Mm.
process, and you just keep on going basically, and keep one very very important tip that I heard and that I always try to give out is keep writing for the bin. No, that's serious.
Okay.
It isn't like every idea that you develop is going to be the next greatest thing that everyone did or that you did yourself. It could be like you write 10, 15, 20, 100 pieces and just one of them is going to really make it or really going to stick out. But that's just the way it is. And you're going to improve through all of that. And without that process, you're not going to get far. So just keep that in mind. You can write for the bin. Not every idea has to be perfect and completely developed.
Sure.
Okay. I would say thank you very much for sending it in, and also thank you very much for the talk. That was a really nice track.
Thank you for the advice.
Yes. Well, I'm going to move you away now. We are going to continue
Okay.
with our program. And again, thank you very much, and thanks for the call in. I'm looking forward to
Thank
the
you.
next time and the next track that you're going to send in and present us here on stream.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Yo, see
Take
you
it
around.
easy. Bye.
That was a really nice track. Let me just, yes, I'm streaming. Can I stop that? Stop streaming. No, not on the stream. So, back to this stuff here. we wanted to check out. I'm going to try it again, just to see how it works. So no, to save. Load a wave. We're going to load a wave. Let's get the color base. Oh, okay. Oh, we got something. It's really laggy, but whole bright, whole half bright, whole large church, cathedral canyon. So this seems to be a reverb type of thing. Hey, Digital Lime, how's it going? I'm trying to figure out how this thing here works. Why can I only click that one? Can I do hand gestures? No. I just got home from a car show. Oh, nice. What kind of cars did you see? What's that? What's that? Particle count. Let's have only one particle. What is this doing? Orbit strength, particle count, air resistance. An amazing Corolla, a cute Miata, and a nice Toya 86. You mean Toyota 86? I have no idea about cars. I don't know anything about cars. I use a car to drive to places, that brings stuff to places. What is that? Two! Oh my god. Let's start with one. Voices mix. What's that? That's just tape saturation, okay. Very unique effects. Tape saturation, okay. This is ring feedback, delay, time, feedback, spread, mix. Mix is important. Okay, so the interface is terrible, I would say. One is my usual cute sounding tracks and the other is a vibe change. choose which one you would prefer first. Particle count, yes, particle orbit strength. I don't even know what's going on. Vibe change should be good. Okay, go ahead. Where? Ah, that's why it doesn't work. Canyon. Wait, is this... Mass 0. Yeah, but they should have a mass. Because as they won't attract something. Particle count, air resistance. Let's reduce the air resistance. Ah, now they can float a little bit better. Orbit strength. I don't know what's going on. Are there like presets which I can use? Settings. Planet, special tanks. Reset all positions, wall bouncing. Crazy mode. Oh. Can I disable crazy mode, please? Planet 2, Planet 1. What does it mean? Can the interface please be reactive? Yeah, this is where is the CPU? Yeah, this is killing my CPU. It is very terribly optimized. I would say. So, how can I load presets? Sound banks. just drag and drop this here? Does that work? No, of course it doesn't. Took long because I transferred it to PC. Okay, it's no problem. We have time. We have all time in the world. So I'm probably going to get a refund on that because this thing is really unstable. And I really want to experiment with it more. Okay. Tech Core. Let's listen to what you got for us today. That's some cool shit, man. I have a few notes. I think your kick sound needs to be, yeah, I wouldn't call it rough. I think it works pretty well already. There are some minor issues that you should address, but overall, I think it's a really nice track. Your kick drum, I think, has too much of a low oomph and can have more of a click and a little bit more high end and punchiness. Because almost every other element in your track is like tiny, delicate, short, percussive, has a lot of high-end energy. And then you have your kick, which is somehow in there. And I think it doesn't fit the rest of your the rest of the track and the rest of the instrumentation. Maybe if I compare it to okay, I'm not an interior designer. Fuck, what would I compare it with? to make you understand. Oh, very nice. Okay, let's say you're an interior designer and you want to make something that looks like an Victorian era room, right? So can we get an image instead of a website? I hate it. I hate that once you would be able to click on the image and then get a bigger version. So you're just going to have this layout, and then, but there's, instead of this chair, you put in like something like this. Oh, where is it? There. You put this chair here in this corner. Just imagine that for a second. This would also be not too much because it's in the corner, but it would be a little bit weird to see this chair in the context of this room, right? So we obviously have some sort of aesthetic perception in regards to that, in regards to style, in regards to in regards to style. And this is also true for music. It isn't that concrete because we are more focused on visual perception than oral perception, though there are people who would disagree with that. Sometimes I also would disagree with that, but this is your kick drum in the rest of your track, basically, from the feeling, from the style. And let's continue with of course this whole glitchy part where you have so many elements in there. With that, you've created yourself a huge conundrum, because the more different sounding elements and samples you have in there in a short period of time, the more you have to be focused on balancing them out in regards of level, in regards of probably sonic quality, compression, distortion, etc., etc. So you have to be really, really precise when you make combinations like that in quick succession. Again, first try to deal with all of those problems with pure leveling at first and pure volume differences. 2 points that I would mention at last. Your bass here, which is something like that. It's a little bit wilder than that. The issue that I see here in this part is that it keeps on this note instead of changing with the chords later on. This is again the discussion about what role those different instruments have. For the first chord, your bass is perfectly fitting the role of supporting and supplementing the harmony that's playing above there. But for the other chords, it doesn't. So you can just take the same pattern and just move it down to the root note of the chord, like F, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Also, those 4 chords, as always, hello from the other side. We cannot escape them. They are always with us. they are. Wait, where's my? I am inevitable. Final thing, and this last time it was never gonna give you up. Yes, last time it was that and this enemy song. Last point, the piano at the beginning. What I would definitely try out, at least, is to give the piano itself a little bit more dynamic range and a little bit more velocity variation and humanity. This is more of a personal opinion and a personal preference. Every time I hear a piano which is quantized and both in velocity and tempo and in rhythm, that way I find it a little bit strange. Maybe I can emulate that velocity processor value, just one value. More so if it is, I humanize it a bit, but I guess it's still not enough. This might also be due to the sample set. Because some sample sets may have more and better resolution in regards to dynamics. So it really depends. Also, a little bit depends on the plugin that you're using for the piano. But yeah, if possible, I use a free piano plugin. Which one? Isn't there one by free piano plugin? Something called with Labs by Spitfire Soft Piano. Free trial? No. Lab Soft Piano. It said free. Oh, demo. Start free trial. Back to backs. No, that's not the one. I didn't use my Labs piano on this one. Oh, okay. But yeah, overall, nice track. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to... So, I used Labs for the strings. Okay, that's nice. I wanted to check something out, which is... So, I want to go into a discussion or figure something out for myself, because when I learned about that during my studies, I don't completely remember what exactly I learned about it. So the topic at hand are pressure zone microphones. Pressure zone microphones. If you ever did, for example, drum recordings, you probably know one of those. They're probably more well known as boundary microphones. Yes. So basically what you do is you can put them on a boundary, and they are you can, for example, use them for drums. You will very often see is it the Shure Beta? Come on. Yes, the 91A. You will see very often inside of a kick drum. Oh, remember to play Keyzone. Keyzone piano plugin. Keyzone piano plugin. Did you humanize? Yes, humanization will not bring you much with this one, because what this one basically does is it takes the same sample and then just lowers its volume a little bit with a different velocity step. And it's completely okay for a free plugin, but it doesn't seem very realistic. And the explanation behind that would be physics lesson. We're always going back to your overtone scale. When I play a note on the piano and you look at it in a frequency meter, what you're going to see is this 4D cut piano then. I mean, you can. You're not going to see only one note, but you're going to see multiple notes at once. And this doesn't count only for pianos, but basically for every instrument. Those frequencies have a certain relationship to them, pure physical relationship. Because if this is 100 hertz, then this is, in most cases, being 200 hertz. This is going to be 300 hertz, 400, 500, etc., etc. So there is a mathematical and physical pattern behind this. We can quickly demonstrate. Like you see all those different spikes. Those are the different frequencies. So let's see if I can play a 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and so on. And what happens when I hit a key a little bit harder or a little bit softer is not only this root note is going to be louder, but the amount of energy in those notes is going to get higher in relation to this note. So I make a rough graph. So if I play a low note or a more quiet note, oh, it's raining a little bit. If I play a quiet note, it's going to be more steep. You're going to have less energy in the overtones. And if I play a strong note, and I'm going to normalize them so that they're basically at the same peak, it's going to look more like this. So there's going to be more energy with that. That's the more acoustic difference that you hear in louder or more quiet notes played on a lot of instruments. So it's not only volume, it's also how much harmonic content you have. And this you have to factor in when you design something like that. Or if you try to make a sample library with just basically one sample, you're going to record the hardest one. And then when you want to make the lower velocities, you not only have to reduce the volume with the velocity, you also have to filter this high frequency content. And then you can make something a little bit more realistic. You know what? We can do that right now. Best viewers on streamerbar.com. No, get banned. Ban. Goodbye. Yes, I know it's a bot. So, we're going to do the following now. We're going to keep that, it doesn't matter. So, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to. So we're going to, and this is for educational purposes only, highest velocity. We don't even have to finish it completely, so we can keep it short. Bounce it. Nice chakra. You can send it in if you want. File, bounce, projector section. PCM. You know what? I'm going to normalize it. On. Of course, there are some other factors that also play in, but you can already get a little bit more realistic with already one sample. So we're going to put that one in. Where's my desktop? As a sample, in a sampler. Sounds pretty terrible, right? So most sample libraries would go out of the way and record as many keys as they can for such purposes, because the volume difference or the coloration difference is extreme. Fatful DQ, damn. Yes, it's better to get it in a bundle, if possible. So this one already does a little thing. The first thing that we're going to solve is the fade out. We're going to add a sample loop. Okay. Remove the second one, remove the third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one. Where's the first one? Can I move it, please? Yes. So shortly before the actual release, we're going to add a loop, and we're going to make it as short as possible. Basically, what we want at the end is a wavetable, more or less. So we're going to see if we can hit that perfectly. It's a little bit too much. You can hear the strange coloration at the end. We're going to go you're going to have a hard time with such a natural sounding instrument. But the trick... Oh, wrong direction. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful, wasn't it? What I'm doing. So can I? Crossfade 100. Sounds a little bit strange. But yeah, this is basically how you would try to do that. Now the next we need is a filter. And we're going to have a low pass filter. And we're going to tie the parameter of the cutoff to the velocity. You see what's happening, right? It's getting a little bit better. Maybe the LP4 is a little bit too hard. But this is already a little bit more realistic than just pure volume differences. Okay. Lo-fi piano. Yes, basically. It sounds a little bit like the Yamaha PC80, the how is it called? The ABBA piano. Okay, we're going to give Chakra DMB's track a listen. Sorry for the wait. I wanted to finish that. Yeah, I don't care. I need to make the neural passes fit somewhere in this VIP. Okay. Two or three things that I would say about your track. It's already a pretty solid track. However, and this is a thing that I already noticed or noted last time, you have limited yourself. Oh, thanks for the follow, Manolito. Thank you. You seem to have limited yourself in the last few tracks on. Wait, let me. This might be distracting. You have limited yourself to only using chords and only the notes of those very specific chords in the harmonic progression, instead of having a little bit more freedom in regards to melody and melodic elements. It can be a stylistic device, but in this case I think it's more limiting to do that. Second thing that I would note is your sub bass. I think your sub bass would need a little bit more clarity and definition, in the sense that it is a little bit hard to sometimes recognize what the sub bass is playing properly. And an easy trick to that would be to give the sub bass either through the synthesizer itself or through an external plugin or through an effect a little bit more harmonic overtones. This will help the listener to define what it's playing a little bit more, and it will also help you to keep your bass alive even if you have playback systems that cannot really recreate those frequencies. All right. Hope this is helpful. Summer Bubble by Chill Lime. whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? What's that? What's that low end ground noise that you have there? Yeah, you should check that out. It's okay to have noise and a little bit of hiss in your track going, but having it in that low frequency going on, unchecked, that can give you issues later on when mixing or mastering. Try to keep that in check when it's affecting the low end. I don't know how that happened. You might have... It's from your supersaw. Okay. Overall nice track. I really like the key switch that you had back at the end. Really good switch up. And even though it's like completely unprepared, like you don't do some harmonic divergence, but you go straight to the transposition, works really well. One thing that I notice here really strongly is the sound design choices in the drum samples. I think they can be a little bit more cut through, a little bit more impactful. Right now they seem to be very soft and very weak, and maybe a little bit too acoustic. They can be a secondary layer to like the actual drums, but I think overall you need something that is a little bit stronger than that. I'm mainly talking about the kick and the snare here. Now you definitely need different samples. Just doubling them won't bring you much. Yeah. Okay, we get to the final piece for today. Manolito. Let's have a little bit chrome wheels. Manolito Hood Runner. Maybe you can tell us what your part of the production was and what your buddy's part was, like also to help me to focus the feedback a little bit more. Like if you're the vocalist and you had nothing to do with the music production itself, in the sense of, or with the instrumental, and then I'm going to rattle on like stuff about instrumental and you cannot do anything with that information, that will be also helpful for you. He made the sample loop. Okay. Well, let's give it a listen. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, but what did you do? He made a sample loop. What did you do? Oh, okay, now I understand. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is a pretty solid beat. It's a nice loop that's running in the background. And of course, right now, without a vocalist that performs over it, is a tad bit empty, but that's again, if this is intended as a playback or an instrumental for a vocalist, this is already good enough. You don't need that many elements, because you're going to have an additional element, which is probably the more important one in a production, and you leave enough space for that. That's already good. What I'm wondering a little bit about is the way that you use your 808s and your kicks. Normally you would have, or normally an 808 is some sort of a replacement of a kick drum. Because it can basically do two things at the same time. It can be the kick drum and the bass and the bass line at the same time. You have both your 808 and a separate, let's call it stomp kick. It sounds a little bit more stomped instead of electric. And they play very different patterns and are playing at very contrary times. You also have a third bass instrument basically in the, or not a third bass instrument, but a secondary bass instrument in your instrumental as well, which also has a different rhythm. Which you try to filter out, of course, when your beat came in. But why not build up on that? Like that would be my question. Why not build up on the bass groove that you have already here? Instead, you have to filter it out here. That will be my questions towards you. Maybe the claps are a little bit too loud. Let me check quietly. Wait. Let us together check quietly. Yes, definitely too loud. I wanted to give something unique to the hook and part section. Okay. I think there are better options to give something unique to the hook and part question, because the problem that I see is in regards to the roles of those different instruments, or more, or the same instruments, to be honest, which is, so the bass instrument is some sort of connecting, a connection instrument between the rhythm section and the harmonic section of a musical track. And if you have multiple instruments which are trying to fill that role, you're going to get conflicts. In your case, you avoided harmonic conflicts. That's already good. But the rhythmic conflict seems to still be there. I also don't know how I feel about the kick sound itself being such a stomp kick. Yeah, but this is this is more of a big question marks instead of you actually have to change that. Big question mark towards all of those things, except for the clap. The clap, I'm pretty sure, is too loud. You have to tone that one down. If you're unsure about balancing issues in regards to what is too loud and what is too quiet, listen to reference tracks and listen to them at different volumes, and if possible on multiple systems. Like the thing that I did before, like listening to it very quietly, can give a different look, a different ear to what you're mixing right now and how your balancing is. But you need a reference. You need some sort of reference. And again, industry songs, for the most part, can be a reference in regards to that. So what you can do is go ahead and be like, okay, what's my reference for this one? What's the song that I want to, or what's the style, the artist that I want to achieve for that? Listen to it in different environments, and then listen to your one and figure out the balancing. Like if you say, okay, when I listen to it very quietly, in the original, this and this and this and this happens. And in mine, this doesn't happen. There's an imbalance there. And in your case, I would say the clap is too loud. Okay. We're going to end the stream for today. Thanks everyone for joining. Also thanks for the very interesting call-in that we had today. We're going to look who we can potentially rate. What's Doc doing? Oh, Doc is live. Okay, we can rate Doc. Doc did it. He's also a feedback streamer. Oh, what did I do? Jesus Christ. I didn't want to scare you that way. Rate browser. He also seems to be doing feedback, so we're going to rate. Doc did it. Start the rate. Again, thanks very much for joining today, and I'm looking forward to the next stream next time with you.